I always like to get inspired by how others use their journals and planners. That way I can see if I can improve my own system. So in this video, I'm going to do a mid-year review of my journal and planner system to share what has been working and what is not working and how I'm planning to move forward for the rest of the year. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Seppi and I share with you simple and practical tips to live a happier life. And this is my desk. This is my journal and planner stash. I shared with you already in the past how I've been doing everything, and this is kind of a mid-year review of how things are going, things are progressing. So let's first start off with my planner, which is the Hobonichi Cousin. This is my second year using it, and I really like the flow I have found with it. And I'm thinking as the September timeline is coming in with the new Hobonichi, I am likely going to repurchase the same one for next year. So I'm going to do a flip through as I talk as well. I use my Hobonichi Cousin for mostly planning. I use it as a functional planner while still adding in some aesthetic pages, doing simple little tweaks by adding color and washi tape and whatever to make it still look aesthetic and pleasing. And I really just enjoy it a lot because it does keep it a lot more simple to keep up with it. One change that I want to make is to kind of do my monthly spreads ahead of time. That way it is a lot easier to do my monthly planning as well. It'll take a little bit less time. One change that I have made that I like is ahead of the month I do my weekly spreads. I haven't done the ones for July just yet, but I keep the same format every single week, which again makes it really sustainable, really easy. All that I need to switch out is kind of like the colors, the pens, and maybe the add-ons that I add on the page. Makes it a lot more sustainable to sit around and to do my weekly planning. And I also keep the same theme every single month. That way, every single week, it just makes it a lot easier when it comes to planning. I'm all about making things sustainable by adding in a little bit of fun. So my little bit of fun is kind of like the washi tape, the colors, etc. But my weekly, monthly, etc. planning doesn't take that long. So that kind of process and system really works for me as well. Keeping the same format with my to-do list, my weekly habits in terms of my steps and movement, and then kind of mapping out the week in terms of appointments, schedules, anything else that is happening, birthdays, whatever else. And if I know there's one day I have to do something specific, then I make sure to write it out. So then when I do my weekly planning, I just look at the page. Oh, this is folded. I look at the page and I see what I need to get done that day. So the format is still going to stick. I think I just need to be a bit more disciplined when it comes to my weekly planning. Although this month has just like June was really busy. So I'm giving myself a little bit of grace. I only just did my July planning and we're July 6th, but that is okay. So I'm gonna have to do the planning moving forward. And then in terms of June, in terms of the actual daily pages, I have to say this month, like I said, there was just a lot going on, and even I wasn't necessarily home, so the planning wasn't as diligent as usual. And as you can see, the pages end up being empty. I just felt really overwhelmed this month, and I am trying to be patient with myself that it's okay that the pages aren't filled out, that I just actually use the planner as I had intended by doing brain dumps if I needed to, using the pages a bit more flexibly. That's not a word, but I'm still gonna go with it. But being a little bit more flexible with how I'm using my daily pages. So that's what I'm trying to remind myself. But yes, there are a lot of empty pages and that's okay. This month I'm hoping to get a little bit more back on track with my whole journal and planner system. This month, like I said, I have not been as diligent when it comes to my planner, my daily journaling, and my bullet journal, as you will see after. But overall, still loving how I'm using my Hobonichi Cousin, still thinking about getting the same one for next year and kind of using the same process. And that is an overview of my Hobonichi Cousin. So now let's move on to my bullet journal. Now, again, this month, the last few months have been just been a lot going on, and my bullet journal especially, I have not been able to fill it out. I have a lot of things that I like to track, like books and like finances and goals and everything. I have a full walkthrough of the bullet journal if you want to see it. But this month, I barely have anything to show for it. I feel I started off the year really strong. I did set goals for the month of June. I kept the spread really simple. I actually really like how it turned out. I just kind of went back to the basics, just used a pen to just do some setting of my goals and doing little hearts. And then I did my good memory spread, and I didn't even finish it. And that's all I have for the month of June. Overall this year, my bullet journal started off really strong. I was filling it out really diligently, filling out like things that I'm tracking, the books that I'm reading, coffee shops I'm going to. This is also really back, like I really need to update this. My income, just doing my monthly moon intention, full moon intention settings. I was doing really well, and then life happened. There's been a lot going on since the month of March, and that kind of fell to the wayside. So I'm hoping that moving forward, I can fill up the pages, because my challenge for myself this year is to make sure I fill up the bullet journal. I usually end up leaving about 20 pages at the end of the year, so I really want to be able to fill it out. So I want to go and kind of backfill and add more pages, creative pages moving forward. But in the back of my mind, if I'm honest with you, I'm kind of thinking next year, am I going to keep the same format when it comes to my goals, when it comes to my bullet journal? I am not sure. It's in the back of my mind. I feel as though it is not sustainable anymore with my life, and I need to switch it up. I like the idea of having a bullet journal, having a space to do creative pages, or thinking about or keeping kind of doing kind of a scrapbook version as well, or if I want to focus on spring cleaning or whatever else it might be. I just need to be a little bit maybe less ambitious with what I put in my bullet journal. I have a really hard time moving away from something I've done for so many years, so that's one thing I'm going to have to figure out for next year. I feel uncomfortable even admitting it in a way that I'm not able to keep up with everything, because I love my bullet journal, but I need it to be more sustainable, because for months now I've been wanting to update it and whatnot, and I can't. I haven't had time. So TBD how I'm going to move forward and how I'm going to use my bullet journal next year, or if I'm going to maybe not have one, dare I say it. I've had a bullet journal for like 8-9 years, so it's gonna feel weird not having one. So I'm thinking I want to find a format that's a little bit less overwhelming to do. If you have any advice, tips, or insights, if you have a bullet journal, how to keep it sustainable to actually fill it out, then let me know. But that is how bullet journal number 1 is going. Now, because I like to overdo things, I have a second bullet journal. And in the past, so this bullet journal, I didn't really have a format for it, so I'm less concerned over this one. Even if it continues, like I can't finish it, which I won't, I'm okay with it. I haven't touched this in so long, but this bullet journal is basically for my business, to organize things that I need to get done, content and whatnot, or projects that I'm working on. I always like to write things out before I move it into my computer and type it out. I just like the concept of writing and getting things onto paper. This journal, like I said, no pressure. I'm going to keep it as is without a real format, and the main purpose is just for my business. And that's really the update I have for this bullet journal. I'm still going to keep it without pressure, and I'm okay with that. The next journal that I have been still struggling with is my travels notebook. Love the idea of it. I don't know. Guys, I really don't know what I should do with it. I feel weird getting rid of it, but I also feel like it's an added thing that I just haven't been able to keep up with. See all these pictures and all these things that I've been wanting to add, like I have just not. I have 3 inserts in my TN. I have one for my books, one for coffee shops, and one for traveling. The books one is a bit easier to keep up. I think I'm just also not crazy about the length of the pages and the books, the inserts. As you can see, these are the books that I actually printed out. I have to fill out the summary of it, but then I'm also thinking, do I really need a book review journal? Do I really need to know what books I read? I don't know. It's fun, but then I also just don't have time for it. I'm also on Goodreads anyway, so I track what I'm reading. I don't know. Coffee shops, I thought it would be fun to make creative spreads with the coffee shops that I go to, because I go to new coffee shops very frequently. But as you can see, I have not filled it out very much. And I have a list of coffee shops. Like I wrote a list to make sure I don't forget them. But I have a list of coffee shops pages that I want to enter. I don't know. I just don't know. Then this is I want to have a insert to do spreads for my trips. I went on one trip already this year and I haven't even created a spread for it. I have all the pictures ready and printed, but they're not ready. It all just feels too overwhelming. And I don't know if it's because my life has just been hectic this year, but one thing that I've always wanted to do when it comes to my journal and planner system is to make sure that it is sustainable. And I feel as though this year it has not been sustainable. So I need to just sit down and kind of look at it and be honest with myself. I don't know if I should sell my TN or just leave it as is. I don't know. Any advice is welcome. Let me know what you think, but I don't know if I should just sell it. And then what I do with the inserts, I am confused. Let me know what you think. Last thing that I want to bring up is my change journal. Have not touched it either. And although I like the concept of it, it's just not something I've had time for. This is a journal from Leuchtturm to help you go through different ways to improve your life, and it's supposed to be 3 to 5 minutes per day, and it's really a cool concept, and I've done a few of them and I like it. I just need to get back to it. I just, again, haven't had time. So I like this journal. I'm still going to keep it. I don't have to get rid of it. I don't have a specific timeline by which to fill it out, and I think I'll just use it whenever I get inspired to do so. But I do like the change journal as well. And I just realized that I have to backtrack and talk about my daily journal. So this is the B6 hardcover lined journal from Leuchtturm. Love the format. Love this journal a lot. I love what I did with it this year by creating a spread at the beginning of the month inspired by the color of the page, and then every single month I change the color of ink of my fountain pen. So I've also really liked that because then I'm able to I feel as though I am actually making use of my fountain pens, of my inks and everything else. So I do love that. May I did a lot of journaling, and then in June I did not. June 1st, June 3rd, June 4th, and then we're jumping to June 25th and June 21st. It is okay, and this was a bit of an accident that happened. Didn't journal a lot, but this month I'm trying to get back to it, and I'm trying to just focus on doing at least gratitude journaling every single morning. So that's going relatively well. Still love this journal, and I'm going to keep it. I think in terms of a daily journal, I'm going to stick to this one moving forward. I love the size, love the paper, love the price point for the quality. I've talked about this journal many times, but I think this is the perfect journal for daily journaling because it's not too big for you to feel overwhelmed even if you fill out half a page. It's the perfect size and a perfect quality. I do have a 20% discount code for Leuchtturm Canada if you want to grab anything from their website, whether it's the bullet journal or the B6 hardcover lined journal. They also have like matching pen loops, so if you want to mix and match, it's just a great product overall. Now there is going to be one addition to my lineup, and bear with me. I know that I've said that I have a lot, however, there's a purpose to it, and I think it makes sense when I tell you why. I have this Midori journal that I absolutely love because the paper is just beautiful, but it has been sitting empty for a little while. I tried to use it for different things and I just haven't been using it. The last time I used it was like in March, and I think I'm going to use this journal for my therapy. I have gone back to therapy and I like to take notes when I am learning or I'm doing something. So I think this is going to be my therapy journal. A, so I make use of this journal. B, I like to take notes instead of putting it in my daily journal or something else. I can just put it all in one and it'll be easier to look back at the past session when I'm in session or when I'm preparing for the next session, if that makes sense. But this is going to be my new addition. This is going to be my therapy notebook. I'm thinking of doing a digital version of a therapy notes page because I think it's very helpful to take notes and to kind of learn from your therapy sessions. So I might add that to my Etsy shop if you're interested in looking at digital and printable journals and planners. I have a lot of stuff on my Etsy shop there as well. But that is a mid-year review of my journal and planner lineup. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to my TN. Let me know as well what you like about your journal and planner system. If you have any ideas for me on how to improve my system as well. That is all I have for you for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you a lot of love. Bye for now.